Well, hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Louise Savage of Louise Savage Muses, and with me today I'm lucky enough to have Simon Savage.
I'm her son.
He is, I know, rumour has it.
People don't believe it.
So today we're really fortunate to be sat in a bookshop, which is lovely. We haven't filmed together in a bookshop before,
we
have we?
haven't.
And the lovely people at Waterstones at very short notice said that we could film in here, which is really nice. I just want to point out it's not a sponsored video, but they've been very helpful and got the books together for us and all sorts. So
I technically did a bit of a book run.
oh well, yes, Simon did do a little bit of a book run
But
while
they've
I
given
stood
us some lovely book bags because this is a video. Oh, I'm taking over and it's not my video.
It's all right, you can take over.
I was just going to say this is our what is becoming.
That's the lift.
I might do that every time. It's like a meerkat. Anyway, I was just going to say that this has kind of become an annual thing, and normally we do it all on my channel, but I thought it'd be really nice for us to do our shortlist to winner picks on your channel this year.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful for that and very excited as well.
And we normally reveal them out of it can be a pillowcase, it can be a tote bag, but today, thanks to Waterstones.
My goodness, we've got top-notch bags today.
I have to buy this because this
I
is
know,
really
they're lovely, aren't they? They smell really nice as well. I know. They've got the bookshop aroma.
Oh, anyway.
Yes. So Simon, are you going to go first? So we have inside here 6 shortlisted novels a piece, and we're going to select them in reverse order.
Yeah.
And we haven't discussed the shortlist at all.
Although we nearly had to give some things away because a lovely viewer called Sue just came and said hello
she
to us,
did,
which was
she was
really nice.
lovely.
Really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
But yeah, so and we should say that this will go live the day before the Womensprize when it is announced, and we'll be at the party.
Which is tonight.
Tomorrow. Because this is going to go up the night before, isn't it?
Isn't the prize tomorrow?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I just
I mean.
said.
Yeah, so tonight, yeah. Okay.
No, tomorrow, because this is going to go live today.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
What? Gosh, it's very
We can't do
complicated.
numbers
I couldn't
or
be
spatial
Doctor Who.
awareness. And I couldn't be his sidekick.
No. So anyway.
Okay, so Simon, what is your 6th?
So this
choice?
is quite hard to do in some ways, and I will admit I've had a bumpy journey with the Womensprize this year. In my 6th position, I have The Sentence by Louise Erdrich, and there's 2 reasons for this. One is that as a book, I found it a little bit all over the place. I loved some elements of it. It's a book that's about bookshops, it's a book that's about books, I found some of the stuff around Native American culture and history really fascinating. Some of it made me laugh. I like the meta-ness that Louise and her bookshop are in the book.
Yeah.
But it felt like about 5 different books in one, and I actually haven't managed to finish it because I found it quite off-putting. But I will do. It's one I want to finish, but it's one that I've just... Every time I've put it down, I've sort of been like, okay.
Okay, well, interestingly, can you believe it?
Oh.
What is emerging from my bag first is The Sentence. And, you know, I had a similar experience, I would say. There were lots of things to commend about it. It's beautifully written, I think. But I just sort of kept drifting. You know when you sort of drift away from the characters, and you have to sort of keep reminding yourself of their key qualities.
I couldn't remember who was who sometimes.
Yes, that's right. And maybe that, I don't know, maybe that's intentional, but I was like you. I didn't sort of, it wasn't a book that I could sit and bury myself in and read cover to cover.
Yeah.
And, you know, that always affects my reading experience a bit. So yeah, that was my
I do just want to add, I also think of it was that I thought this would be my favourite, and I think I put it in so much like high esteem before I'd even read it. Sometimes that can do a disservice to the book, so that's, and I will say this is definitely me, not the book. And I will add, I would like to read The Night Watchman, which is her Pulitzer Prize winning book.
Yeah.
Because I know Grace over at GK Reads loved that. She loved this as well. But I will report back on my channel when I have finished it, because at some point I plan on doing so. But yeah, that's, sorry.
Yeah, no, and I think for me as well, there was a ghost in it, and I very often have issues with that. I'm not very good with ghost stories.
Are you alright with Jess Kidd?
That's true.
Interesting.
That is true.
But it's all about the writer, isn't it?
Yeah,
so there we go. I'm going to keep this on my knee.
Okay, and what have you got
Right,
as
this
your
is going to
next
shock you.
choice?
This is where I don't think we're going to be similar from now from this point onwards.
No, I'm not
So,
shocked.
My 5th favourite, if you call it that, is Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. Now, this book is different from the other one in fact that I've had a really bumpy ride with this one as well, but partly because I started reading it when Omicron arrived and my work just got so busy I couldn't concentrate on it. And this to me is a book that is joyous because it's brimming with so many stories. It's about a woman who wants to fly around the earth, and we meet her even before she's born, and every chapter almost has like 5 different novels within it. But there's a present day storyline about an actress who wants to play her or goes to play her in a film. I didn't really enjoy that bit as much, and I kept wanting to get back to Marianne's story. But again, this is one that I still haven't got around to finishing because I just I kept doing this thing. It's a new thing that I've started doing with some books, where I read it and I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, and then I'll think about it and go, but so what? Like, there's a bit in here about transgender Native American woman. I read it, I loved it, but I was like, but what's it got to do with the rest of the book? Even though it does, but at the same time it felt like it didn't. It felt like.
But maybe
so
that's
much
because you haven't got to the end yet.
Well, exactly. But also, I will say my reading has been really bumpy the last few months because I've just been working ridiculous hours. So again, this is one that I want to head back to in the summer. I'm going to be reading big books this summer, and that's one of the big books I'm going to be
reading. Very big books. You heard it here first. Okay, so next up I have Ruth Ozeki's book of Form and Emptiness. I can't even say it. And I had similar. So I am actually still reading this. I've been reading it on and off for ages, and it's not that I am enjoying it bizarrely, but I just feel it's one of those books that you sort of need to just wallow in from time to time. I love the sort of storyline around Benny, the young boy. When I first started reading it, one of the things that really grated on me was the books as narrators. I've kind of got used to that now, and I'm beginning to think it's really clever because it's almost like you're hearing voices, like he's hearing voices. And I feel so much empathy and frustration with Annabelle, Benny's mum, because the scenario is that she's been widowed and she's kind of falling apart, isn't she? And the kind of implications for her young teenage son. And he's meeting all these sort of very unusual characters, but again, to me, it feels a little bit too segmented, too fragmented. So again, I'm sort of often lose the sense of a overarching narrative line, if you know what I mean, which just for me is the thing that has left this at 5th place.
Interesting, because that is my 4th place.
This is a bit worrying. We're getting too similar in our old age.
Well, we're not, because I think we're going to be polar opposites about Great Circle.
You don't know.
But I thought this was great. I really, really enjoyed it, and I love what Ruth Ozeki is doing in terms of looking at grief and ways that she talks about mental health. I think it's done really brilliantly. I think sometimes it's a bit long, and sometimes it gets a bit lost in itself. But overall, I enjoyed it. But this is a case of where the top 3 really sang to me a bit more than this book did. They spoke to me more than this book did, even though this book is speaking.
Oh, he's dead proud of himself now. That's
I love the one thing I do want to say is I love the fact that this book looks at, particularly with the mother who has been widowed, I love how it looks at how she loses her sense of belonging and collects belongings and starts becoming a hoarder. Yeah. That I thought was really powerful, and also around grief and around these inanimate objects speaking to Benny, I loved. Yeah. But then some of the other stuff where it got a bit philosophical and religious.
Yeah. Well, I think Ruth Ozeki is Zen, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Anyway, next up I have Sorrow and Bliss, and this fascinates me because when I first started reading this, there's no way I would have thought it would even make it to this point for me, because it's one of those books that has kind of seeped into me over the months, like books do. And for me, as I've said before, this is very much a book of 2 halves. In the first half, it basically charts the sort of deteriorating mental health of a young woman. I can't remember her name now. I've forgotten her name.
Vivian's
Martha.
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 I get confused because there's a Marion and there's a Martha.
Yeah, and so, and she disintegrates, and it's sort of, you know, it's a portrait of that experience for her that develops in sort of her teenage years, doesn't it, and then follows her through. And I think we finish when she's kind of in middle age, don't we?
Yeah.
And the kind of the way that.
Hang on a minute. 40 is not middle-aged.
I think you'll find it is.
I'm in denial about that, and I disagree with you, Louise.
Oh, he wants to live to be 100.
Oh, I don't. Anyway.
So yeah, but the second half of the book, I just think, I felt at the time, and I still feel is so important, because it explores the importance of diagnosis, and I've witnessed that for myself. With various people that I know, that actually, you know, you can go for years and years and years and know that you're different from other people in some way and not quite put your finger on it, and then feel that actually it's your fault. And I think Meg Mason explores that incredibly well. So yeah, third place for me.
Is that third place or fourth?
Fourth place for me, because I can't do my maths.
So third place for me is The Bread the Devil Need by Lisa Allen Agostini. I love this book. I can't believe at the time that she got shortlisted she didn't have an agent. Like, how amazing is that? So yeah, I thought this was absolutely fantastic. And I think the main reason for that is Alethea, who is the main character, who from the outside looks like she's got it all going on. She's got a really good career. She's in what she believes people think is a really good relationship. But it's all stuff she's projecting, but people can see the cracks. And we follow her after an incident of domestic abuse where someone ends up dead, and people around start saying, this could be you. And then we watch from there, and I just thought this was really, really brilliant. And it's one of those books that could be incredibly depressing, but the energy and the Alethea she buzzes, she's so vibrant.
I agree with that.
And I think quite a lot of the time in fiction, when you have someone who is being abused, they can be a character that's sort of downtrodden, and she's not, which I think makes it all the more powerful. Not that I'm saying that you have to not be, you know what I mean. But yeah, I thought this was fun.
Wow, blow me down.
Oh, this is interesting.
Because my third choice is exactly the same book.
We're becoming the same person as I enter my middle age.
Where's the debate and discussion?
Oh,
It's all a
I
bit
think
too
it'll come.
easy. Yeah, I mean, I just simply concur with everything that Simon just said, and for me as well, it's that whole thing about, you know, creating such a vibrant character, and yet putting her in this horrendous situation.
Sorry, I'm giggling because
I know, there's a customer on the phone.
It's amazing. You can tell we're really actually in Piccadilly
It's great,
Waterstones
it's great.
right now, this Tuesday afternoon, late afternoon.
So there we
Anyway,
are.
sorry.
Yeah, no, I want to know what your next one is now.
Oh, because this means you know which my winner is, but I think you could probably guess what my winner was. What would you guess my winner would be?
I think it's going to be the Alicia pack.
Yeah, so you're right, because my second favourite
Okay.
is Sorrow and Bliss. Now, I actually think this one will probably win, but yeah, it's by Meg Mason, and I just thought this book was so brilliant in so many different ways, like the way it talks about mental health, but because I don't think this is important to say, I think a lot of people know this about the conversation, there's no diagnosis, and I felt that made it more powerful, actually. And I think, sorry, were you saying that about it earlier?
Yeah.
Sorry. Some people have said this. She's right there. but I think
Hello.
the humour I love the way it looks at siblings, I love the way it looks at family dynamics. And
I
think
love
this
the
shows-
relationship as well with her husband.
which is an interesting one.
I think
in
it's
lots of
really,
ways, yeah.
really interesting. Yeah.
But also, in a time when reading has been tricky for me, I couldn't put this down.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
literally just could not stop reading. I just wanted to devour it, basically. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
There we are.
So if it wins, I won't be cross.
So,
Right, I think we
Go
might
on.
have. I think your winner might be Great Circle. Oh gosh, is this 2 years on the trot? No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
no, not last year.
No,
the year
last year, no,
before.
didn't agree last year.
We both agreed on Hamlet, didn't we? I really, really loved Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. It's a very me kind of book, I have to say, because it's you know, you're travelling back in time. You've got a female protagonist Marion. I still miss Marion. I really, really enjoyed reading about her. And this whole idea of a woman adventurous, wanting to learn to fly at a time when that seemed like an impossibility for women, and also wanting to fly from pole to pole. It swept me away, and it's one of those novels that's very cinematographic. There you go. It's a good job I didn't have a cocktail before we did this, because I wouldn't have been able to say that.
I refused that situation, but I may be having one straight after. I found this unusually stressful, being in a live bookshop.
Are you? It's because you're a control freak.
I'm used to filming out of hours.
He's a control freak. Yeah, but you vlog, you film live walking down the street.
Yeah, when I'm hiding around a corner. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, so this for me comes highly, highly commended. I didn't have the problem that you had with the other narrative, but I can see why you did. I actually really liked the fact that the other narrative is a young Hollywood actress who is, she's just committed some sexual indiscretion.
It's based on what happened with Twilight.
Yeah, and also she's playing the role of Marion in a film. And I actually really quite like that, because that whole sort of contrast between Marion's difficulty around being a woman, being assertive, being in relationships, and it raises that question whether in modern society we've actually solved that issue or not. So for me, I thought that was really clever. Anyway,
and
I
think for me it's that anytime there's an alternating narrative, it's always a risk for me with an author. I think it's a good thing to do, and it's
got to be done well.
I just didn't quite get it like you did, which I'm a bit sad about.
Well.
So joint number one, which I realised at the same time. Elif Shafak, The Island of Missing Trees, which is one of the best books I think I've ever read.
You've taken the words out of my mouth.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, no, it's fine. Nice to hear you say it. I was just going to say,
You see that on
I
her
feel.
channel, we all know who's boss.
Well, and rightly so, frankly.
Quite rightly so.
Seniority, if you don't mind.
Power.
And that as well. But this for me it's there's no such thing as the perfect book, is there, I suppose, but I think that the narrative is beautiful, it's unputdownable. I did pretty much read this in one go. I thought the exploration of grief was incredible, but not just personal grief, the grief of a nation. And I feel with everything that's happening at the moment in Europe and Russia, that this is a very timely book, because it promotes that message that we are all islanders, we are all
human.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, what race, colour, religion,
sexuality, anything like that.
Everything. And so for me, there's a whole world in this novel. I love the characters. I loved, and again, I had a problem with the narrating books, although I've got used to that.
Sure, at the fig tree though.
But I loved the fig tree. I thought it was so well done. And for some reason, I don't know whether it's because I have a couple of fig trees.
We've got fig
and you've
trees
got some,
as well,
haven't you? So they are living, breathing.
I talk to mine now.
Oh gosh.
I bought a new one as well.
I dread to think what you say to them. Have they produced any fruit?
Yeah, that one's blue, but I bought an indoor one.
Oh,
and
right.
I've called it Air Leaf. Air Leaf. Because it's
Have you
got
been spending
leaves.
time with your stepfather
No.
recently?
Anyway, but this book also is one that every time I think about it, I get really emotional. You can feel your emotions around your eyes.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this book. I just think it's exceptional.
And the other thing I would say, and it shouldn't matter at all, but I really thoroughly respect Elif.
Yeah.
As, not that I don't respect the other authors, but I think that she is such a voice for women, and so erudite and thoughtful and positive, and I it would be a lovely way to pay tribute to her as well, because I think she does a lot of campaigning.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
And is very quiet, it's subtle and understated about it.
Yeah.
It's really, she's not tub thumping, is she?
I also think she's brilliant in the fact that this book is not a book that tries to wag its finger at you morally. You're left. It's a very biased and balanced book for both parties involved in this war that we witness, and I thought that was incredible. And I also think the nature writing in here is sensational.
You said that because you read it before me, and I remember you saying that. The other thing I love about it is that it also has elements of the oral storytelling tradition in it as well.
And folklore and myth.
Yeah, you know, it's a microcosm, you know, and I really, really would love this book to win.
Same here. So there we go. That's 2022 done.
I know, it always feels really horrid.
People want us to do the
actually.
book of Shortlist, Mum. That's
Oh,
what
do
I'm
they?
saying. Yeah.
Oh, crumbs, when's that?
In a few months.
Okay. Well, Simon,
see.
thank you so much for appearing on my channel. That feels really strange to say. When I made that video
I
last
hope
week.
this time I wasn't annoying or whatever it was I got told I was last time.
You were lovely. You always are lovely.
I think it's that people.
They don't
We've
understand
got
our
a different
bickering.
dynamic, and I think if people saw me and Chris, sometimes they'd be like.
Yeah, we do bicker a bit.
Anyway.
But also, you know, thank you so much to all those people who have subscribed, because this time last year I wasn't doing any of this. I just about picked up a camera and started messing about. I know.
Got
but
our Oscar speech.
it's not that. I'm just saying I didn't think I'd enjoy it so much.
It
And
is-
the reason
it is
I enjoy
really good
it
fun.
is all the conversations that arise out of it. And I've had so many fantastic reading recommendations from doing this. So no, I genuinely do mean that. Thank you very much. And also thank you to the lovely people at Waterstones for...
I know. I didn't get to do a video in a bookshop in my first year of YouTube. Honestly.
You've already said that once.
Not on here, I've not.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said it over there before we started filming.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Oh well, only time will tell. Anyway, until the next time, and not the next Women's Prize, I hope. Bye.
Before then, bye.